Well, today's episode should just be a relatively simple formality of us booking our spot in the playoffs. However, because nothing is ever easy, there are still very unlikely scenarios where we could get promoted automatically or fall out of the playoff picture completely. Hello and welcome to part 97 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the final two games of our regular season. We're away against Barnsley and at home against Bristol City. Since you were last with me, the story of the season, mixed form. We won a couple, lost one, drew one. We've played a lot of the teams around us, again, mainly because there are a lot of teams around us. This is what the league table looks like, though. And it is, like I say, we're pretty much set on a playoff spot. We're 6 points behind second place Blackburn. We do have the best goal difference in the division. So in the unlikely scenario that Blackburn lose both of their remaining games, we win both of our remaining games, and Forest don't win both of their remaining games, we could still finish second. It's a bit of a stretch, though, with 2 games to go. Equally, if we have a terrible last couple of games and either Huddersfield or Rotherham or both win both of theirs while we lose both of ours, they're both in a position. In fact, Rotherham can't because of goal difference. So really, it is Huddersfield have to win both of theirs while we lose both of ours, and then they could leapfrog us. But at the same time, Middlesbrough also have to win both of theirs, and Leeds have to win both of theirs. So actually, all 3 of these teams have to win both of theirs while we lose both of ours for us to fall out of the playoffs. So I think we're probably going to be securing 3rd or 4th place. But we'll see how things turn out. Like I say, things are never easy, and I wouldn't be particularly surprised with an automatic promotion or no playoffs at all, just because of how mad the game seems to be for us at the moment. Just to have a look to see what some of the key players are up to. We're away against Barnsley, who have nothing to play for. Blackburn are away against Rotherham, so that's a massive game. If Blackburn win, we can't get promoted automatically, but it's also less likely that we get caught, I think. Or did we decide Rotherham can't catch us? I don't know why I'm messing around with maths. Huddersfield are away against Doncaster. Doncaster are already relegated and are rubbish, so Huddersfield have pretty much got that first win wrapped up. Middlesbrough play Wigan, who have nothing to play for, so that should be an easy win for Middlesbrough. And Leeds are at home against Cardiff, who again, nothing to play for. Going into the final game of the season, we play Bristol City, who have nothing to play for, so you'd think we should be able to win both of our games. Blackburn at home to QPR, who are kind of still in a relegation battle. I mean, there's a possibility Blackburn might lose both of their games. I just think it's very unlikely, but they've probably got one of the harder run-ins. Leeds, I know we're ignoring Forest in all this, but I mean, Forest will either win theirs or they won't. They're not going to push us out of anything. So I'm not really focused on what Forest are up to. Leeds are away against Charlton, who mid-table, nothing to play for. Middlesbrough play Stoke, who are mid-table, nothing to play for. And Huddersfield are the other one we're looking for, aren't they? Huddersfield are at home against Wigan, who are mid-table, nothing to play for. So pretty much everyone from us down, you would expect us. You wouldn't be surprised if us, Leeds, Middlesbrough and Huddersfield all won our remaining 2 games. Let's just see what are Forest up to. Forest have got to play Sunderland, which, I mean, Forest should win both of theirs as well. Really, it's a case of, will Blackburn slip up? If they do, will either us or Forest catch them? And will Leeds or Middlesbrough slip up? And if they do, will Huddersfield or Rotherham catch them? I don't think we're falling out of this. I hope we're not falling out of this. That's enough of an intro of confused maths from me. Anyway, let's have a look to see what our team is and get into the first match away against Barnsley. So we're going with Watson in goal. It's a very familiar look to the team. Watson in goal. A back 4 of Bradley, Rogers, Wright and Gregson. With Harrison at the base of the midfield. Fernandez and Perry in the middle of midfield. And Wharton at the front of midfield. It's a weird way to describe what's going on in there. Harrison, Matondo up front. And fingers crossed. I mean, if we win, we're at least in the playoffs. I think if we draw, we're at least in the playoffs. That would put us to 79 points with a better goal difference. Yeah, a draw is enough to secure us the playoffs. Obviously, a win combined with Blackburn and Forest defeats puts a little bit of pressure on going into that final day and leaves the door ever so slightly ajar. But our main focus today is secure a playoff spot. So fingers crossed that's exactly what we're going to do. I want you to ignore the recent... No, I don't want you to ignore recent praise. I like praise. I don't want to talk about securing a playoff spot either, though. So perhaps we will talk about ignoring praise. Just go out there and win. Wharton is relaxed by that. Everyone else is just listening keenly, but has no opinion one way or the other. Those of you who did watch the non-League to Legend video that came out yesterday, by the way, will know that I am back suffering from a cough again. Hopefully it's just a short-term thing. I'm not going to whine about it for ages, but I have got my honey and lemon tea to hand, which I'll be sipping on throughout the video. And if there's jump cuts here and there, that's why, because I'm coughing like a crazy person. Because of the way things have worked out, though, after I've recorded this video and Monday's non-League to Legend, I'm recording all of these on Thursday. I won't be recording again until Tuesday. So fingers crossed the cough will have cleared up by the next batch of videos anyway. So I'll only be whining about it for this weekend's videos. On that note, I know I said we were back to normal schedule on Monday, but it's Easter Monday. We're not doing a home episode on Easter Monday. Having to do the transfer window for non-League to Legend, just put paid to any hope we had of doing that. So we'll be back to normal schedule from Tuesday. So it will be non-League to Legend as normal, 4 o'clock on Monday, and then 4 o'clock again on Tuesday for non-League to Legend, and home coming in at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. So we're getting very close to being back to normal schedule. Thank you for bearing with me. It's just the only way we can keep these videos going throughout the school holidays. Matondo is in behind here thanks to a ball from Fernandez. Squares it to Harris. Harris, second bite at the cherry. And he scores, puts us 1-0 up with his 25th goal of the season. And that's a big goal. A very big goal. That could be the goal that secures us a playoff spot. We want to see what's going on with both Blackburn and Forest as well. Wharton did well to win the ball back there, actually. He deserves some of the credit. Doesn't seem like anyone's been allocated an assist, which feels a little bit harsh on both Matondo and Wharton. Right, as things stand, we have leapfrogged over Forest and gained ground on Blackburn. I think that's probably just because it's early in the games and neither of them have any goals in them yet, but we'll check on those after this move. In fact, what's the point? Because we've conceded a goal, so let's not look at the other games yet. If we're drawing, we know a draw guarantees playoffs. So we only need to check the other results if we're winning or losing. So for now, we're going to ignore them again. That's a poor headed clearance from Wright. I don't know if you could even call it a headed clearance, just kind of a header up in the air that didn't really achieve anything. Rogers shouldn't be taking throws, but finds Bradley. Anyway, Bradley with a weird ball across to Gregson. Wasn't a cross, but wasn't really a threatening pass either. It did lead to a shot from Gregson, but I think if you lined up all 11 players who are on the pitch in order of who you want shooting from the edge of the area, Gregson will be fairly low down on that list. Anthony Harris, however, will be very high up on the list and is just scoring for fun at the moment. That's number 26 for the season now for Harris. He is very quickly catching up with Matondo's tally. We are in probably the last days of Chardonnay Matondo, and we're looking forward to a Harris and Steer partnership for next season. And Anthony Harris is very much trying to emphasise that he is going to be the goals element of Harris and Steer, with Steer being more of the hard-working chap who's there to set things up for him. Maybe. And perhaps we'll have another free-scoring partnership like we've had this season. Fernandez plays Bradley in. Bradley crosses to Matondo, and there's our third just before half-time. Barnsley 1, Home 3, and we are sat there 4 points behind Blackburn, 2 above Forest. That suggests to me that Forest are losing their game and Blackburn are still drawing in theirs, I think. But we will check the half-time scores just to see how things stand. Obviously, if we're going into the final day 4 points behind Blackburn, there's no chance of automatic promotion. So we do need whoever Blackburn are playing to do us a little bit of a favour. But I think Forest are losing their game. Let's have a look at these half-time scores. So, where are we? Forest are losing 1-0 away against Sunderland. Blackburn are drawing 0-0 away against Rotherham. So at the moment, we need Rotherham to grab a goal and Sunderland to not concede one and things to stay the way they are with us. And the door does then remain open going into the final day. But the big match is Rotherham versus Blackburn. Obviously, Rotherham, in with a chance of pushing into the playoffs themselves, have got every reason to want to go and grab a goal against Blackburn. Right, yeah, let's just do the don't let your heads drop, etc., etc. Just keep doing what you're doing, gentlemen. We're playing very well. I'm tempted to drop a little bit of praise, but praise so soon after half-time seems a little bit empty. It feels like, well, you could have, boss, you're yelling this from the touchline. You could have just said this to us in the changing rooms. Harris in behind. Matondo is in the middle. Harris to Matondo. We're not going to see that happen many more times, but for as long as we are able to still enjoy it, it's a glorious thing to behold. They've got 2 each for today. Harris is up to, I think, 26 for the season now, earlier in the match. Matondo now gets number 30 for the season. It's one of modern football's great prolific strike partnerships, and it's Barnsley 1, Holme 4. We're doing our bit. We just need Rotherham to do their bit, and they're not yet. It's still Rotherham 0, Blackburn 0 in that game. I think it probably is time for us to drop a little bit of praise with half an hour to go. I hope that doesn't register just as we're conceding the goal, because that doesn't really send the right message. Did I click before or after the ball hit the back of the net? That kind of withdraw my praise. I guess 4-2 is still praiseworthy, 4-2 away from home, but not quite. All right, Harris has picked up an injury. We're not taking any risks at all. We're going to bring on Marsh. I guess I could have brought on Steer, but Marsh is basically a straight swap for Harris. Advance forward for advance forward. So, and plus it was the one my assistant manager recommended, so I'm not going to argue. Right, let's see what else we can do in the way of changes. Perry isn't having the best of games. We have got Knowles there to come on as well, but we're going to push Lerick Fernandez a bit further forward. We're going to get him playing as a Mazzala on attack. Knowles can be the slightly deeper central midfielder on a support instruction, and we need to just hope Rotherham score. That's all I really care about at the moment. We should hold on in our game. We need a late Rotherham goal. It's still 0-0 at Rotherham, and that just doesn't get the job done, does it? We're going to bring Moss on for the last 10 minutes just for the sake of making a change, really. There's no real reason to do it other than the fact that fresh legs and all that. Why not make a change? You know I like to make all 3 substitutions. Moss with the ball over the top for Marsh to chase. Marsh, he's unlucky there. It's a decent challenge from the Barnsley defender to force it out for a corner. And, all eyes are on mobile phones seeing what's going on at Rotherham. No one's really paying attention to what's going on the pitch here. Lovely ball out from Morrison, from Knowles to Harrison. I don't know who Morrison is, but I'm sure he's lovely. Doesn't play for us, though. Rotherham still not gone ahead against Blackburn. We need a late Rotherham goal or else it is guaranteed playoffs. Like I say, we've done our bit. We're going to finish third. I don't think Rotherham are going to help us out, though, and Blackburn are going to secure that final automatic promotion spot, which we expected they would. We said at the start it was always going to be a long shot for us to force our way into the automatic promotion spots. We lost against Forest a couple of games ago, and really that was our opportunity. If we'd have beaten Forest, we'd already be almost there. But as it is, we're going to be in the playoffs. We'll find out, based on what happens on the last day of the season, who we're going to be playing. But we've got playoffs coming up on Tuesday, boys and girls. Good work. You did well. Unless we've got a surprise late goal from Rotherham that we didn't see come through, I think that is playoffs confirmed. And it is playoffs confirmed. It doesn't actually confirm Blackburn are promoted, though. So did something happen late on? No. So Blackburn are promoted. We've secured a playoff spot. And now, final day of the season, we play Bristol City and just try and end up with a better result than Forest so that we can be the team finishing top and getting the best draw in the playoff semi-finals. That's a terrifying looking playoffs. Forest, Middlesbrough, Huddersfield, maybe Leeds. Doesn't look easy, does it? Couple of changes for the final day then. McLeish comes back into the back four. Now he's fit-ish again. Passive fit. He can do 75 minutes. He'll be fine. He'll partner Ross Wright. We've also got Moss coming back in at the expense of Wharton as well. Again, similar situation, just keeping him fit, really. He's not fully match fit. Wharton is heading into the playoffs. We need to make sure we have options that are all fit, and that's my thinking. And plus, Moss has been our first choice for most of the season. Wharton's just had a little bit of a run lately, but need to keep an eye on. We need to keep them both fresh going into these playoffs. Be mad not to. Right. Recent form. No. Blah 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 blah. Opportunity to show that. Yeah. Let's passionately take. No. I pressed the wrong button. Oh well. Good job. This game doesn't matter. Any chance Blackburn could get a points reduction? Points reduction? Points deduction. Thus causing a points reduction, because they've spent too much money on wages. Both Southampton and Blackburn, they're the two highest salary teams in the... Oh, it's last day of the season. Ross Wright's on a free kick. No, perhaps he's saving them for the playoffs. I don't think we've seen Ross Wright in the playoffs yet. Perhaps he's going to do his free kicks there. We do know it's a final day of the season tradition that he sticks a free kick in the top corner, and I kind of did expect it to happen there. If that had happened 3 years in a row, that would be bordering on the ridiculous at that point. Because he doesn't do it the rest of the season, hardly ever. But just seems to wake. He obviously likes it a little bit warm. The sun comes out, Ross Wright takes free kicks. That's how he rolls. We've gone 1-0 down. I'm not particularly bothered. It doesn't really seem to make much difference whether we finish third or fourth. We're still going to get I think we get the away leg first. So the second leg will be at home. That's the way playoffs work, regardless of whether we finish third or fourth. What a goal from Matondo. We might not be getting a Ross Wright free kick on the final day, but there's every chance that could be Matondo's final goal at the Serenit Knuhu Stadium. And what a goal it is. Number 31 of the season. He must be closing in on 100 goals for us now. In, what's it been, two? Did he see on 3 full seasons, or is it 2.5 seasons? I feel like he might have turned up partway through a season a couple of years ago. But maybe he has done 3 full years. But either way, I would be so surprised if we got him back. Obviously, if we get promoted, we'll try and buy him. But depending on what kind of budget we're given, it could use most of our money. And that seems silly when we've got Steer there ready to drop into the team if need be. But if we stay in this division, I can't see Stoke letting us have him on loan for another year. Right, you're performing well. Keep doing what you're doing. The result will come. Everybody's green. And fingers crossed, the result does come. Forest tumbling down the table to the point where, as it stands right now, we'll be playing Forest in the playoff semi-final. Now, Forest are a team that have very recently beaten us. That's kind of the last option that we want. I think we've beaten Middlesbrough, Huddersfield and Leeds in the league in the second half of this season. Forest are a team we've really struggled against. We don't really want to be playing Forest. Oh, good, they've jumped back up. Excellent. I don't mind Forest in the final. If we've got to beat them, we've got to beat them. But I don't want to. We're going to bring Steer on this time. We did Marsh in the last game and he did nothing. This time we're going to bring Steer on. And we're also going to bring Wearmouth on. And that will do for now. And let's show some passion. Last 10 minutes of passion of the regular league season. Like I said, we don't need a win, but it would be nice to get one. Unless Forest go behind again, in which case we want to lose so that we avoid them in the semi-final. Gregson with the cross. Moss, did that come back off the post, or was that a save from the keeper? Either way, it was inches away from putting us 2-1 up. Gregson isn't playing particularly well, so Teasdale can come on for him as the final substitution, and we are going to ask for a little bit of creativity to go with it. Teasdale taking the throw. Matondo beats his man. Cross comes in. Steer is there. 13th goal of the season for Ollie Steer. Obviously, the majority of them did come for MK Dons, and the majority of them were in cup competitions because he didn't have very many league goals before he arrived. But I think that's his 4th or 5th goal since signing for us. Next season is going to... Certainly if we're in the Championship, next season, Ollie Steer is going to score a lot of goals. He might even do it in the Premier... Oh, I've asked him to calm down. I've calmed them down. Excellent. They don't need to calm down. Now McLeish is taking a throw in. Everyone's so calm. We've got centre-backs taking throw-ins again. Right. We've won. We're going into the playoffs in form. This is good. But yeah, just a little bit of a note to them that we need to play better in the playoffs themselves. And it looks like we're going to be facing Huddersfield. Is that a confirmed semi-final draw? I think that's how it works. Matondo. Yeah, pat on the head for Matondo. And let's just get it confirmed that we have got Huddersfield in the semi-final, because I think that is the situation we find ourselves in. And that will be Tuesday's episode then at 7 o'clock. Back to normal schedule from Tuesday with the playoff semi-finals. And then, of course, a playoff final on Wednesday. What a week. Yes, there we go. We have got Huddersfield. We are away first. So Huddersfield away, then Huddersfield at home, and then, hopefully, Wembley. That would be very pleasant. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.